You see, I've lived in the North for so long, and I thought I understood the phrase Nigeria say malam until very recently. You know, I was thinking, I always think, I love thinking. You know, with thinking, you can unravel certain mysteries that your head may have jumped around. Nigeria say malam literally means Nigeria must belong to the North. I mean, literally it means Nigeria must be ruled by an Islamic cleric. But conventionally, it means that Nigeria must be led by the core North. Let's leave it that way. So I've been thinking, why is it that the North or certain part of the North want power back by all means possible? They want power back by all means possible. Now let's get it straight. Or let's not misunderstand certain things. Tinubu has failed. Tinubu has failed woefully. But why did Tinubu fail? Tinubu failed because, like every other leader in the past, he is also a tribal champion. Now, if Tinubu had carried every other person along away from our oppressors, which I'm going to get to in a bit, you see, we probably would have forgiven him for how he got in. But the moment he got in, he tended to have forgotten how he came in and thought he could become Lord of the Ring. And for that, he is going to be taught a bitter lesson. Now, one thing I've also come to realize is to change an ideology. Now, the ideology the core North have is that Nigeria must be led by them. And which part of the country are we talking about? It's the Fulani speaking people. I was listening to a video by El Buba the other time, and it was like, hey, the Benue people, they have the Fulani problem. Plateau, they have the Fulani problem. In fact, almost every state now have the Fulani problem. And their singular mission is to look for vulnerable communities, drive the inhabitants away and grab it. It's there. And what is even more annoying is that they are using subtle nomenclatures to describe this, that farmer herders clash. Who is clashing with who? This is a deliberate attempt to expand the Fulani hegemony in Nigeria. And yet we are using subtle nomenclatures to describe it as if it's not a big problem. It is a big problem, and we need to do something about it. You know, I've been asking myself again, like I told you, I like asking questions and I like thinking. When I think, it leads to questions. When you ask questions, it leads to solutions. Now, why is it that after Buhari left, 8 years of Buhari that had Fulanis emboldened, you know, unaliving Christians, burning churches, and, you know, driving communities away, we have thought that when Tinubu came in, this menace will at least be alleviated. Unfortunately, it's becoming more exacerbated, and somehow one is lost as to when will it stop. Now, could it be that Tinubu had an agreement with the Fulani cabal that say, hey, we see how you're so desperate to want to become president. Okay, we're going to give it to you, but please don't touch any of our own agenda. Is that what is going on? It seems so to me, if you ask. It seems so to me. But why is the sudden yearning of these people to get power back away from Tinubu? As much as I don't like Tinubu, I like the fact that he is playing the same game the Fulanis played in our Nigerian polity back to them. That I will give it to him. I'm telling you the truth. But you tribalized he tribalized his own agenda, forgetting that in as much as the Fulanis can tribalize or weaponize their power in the north, the Yorubas can't do that. You can't Yorubanize power in the south and the rest of us will follow. Hey, Yorubas are fighting for us. No, it won't work that way. Imagine if you had carried the south along, the southeast along, not asking governors to defect, and the north central along, and then point the finger to the biggest problem of our country, the Fulanis. I would have said, okay, fine. But in this case, the problem is still there, but they just changed name. The problem of Nigeria is still there, only this time with a different name. It was Fulani before, now it's Yoruba. Now some people come to my page and say, why I'm a tribal bigot. Well, if saying the truth will make you tell me this name, give me this name, so be it. I don't care. It is called water for a reason. Saying it the way it is. I am not here to say things that will make you happy. Nigerians are tired. Every year, Nigeria leaps from one worse scenario to a far more, deplorable scenario. We can't continue this way. Am I saying all Fulanis are bad? I am not in that boat. I cannot classify all Fulanis are bad. When I was in Katsina, most of my hosts were all Fulanis, and they seemed nice to me. But you see this group that have a dastard agenda to annihilate Nigerians for the purpose of their brothers elsewhere in Africa. These are the dangers we face. These are the dangerous ones in our midst, and we must do something about it. Tinubu is not handling the situation, and I don't think he will handle it. So we must come together. We must throw our tribal differences away. Of course, some people will not find it easy to leap away from this tribal bias, but we must do that. If we must get our country back, we must do that. We must try to get away from this our religious nepotism and take this country back. For goodness sake, why we will have somebody good and we say because he's an Igbo man, we will not allow him to rule this country? I realize that the people selling this ideology are the very people that want power back, not because they want to fix Nigeria, not because they want to liberate us, but because they want to keep us in that perpetual state of subservience so that we will become second-class citizens and they will become first. We must say no. 2027 will become a defining moment whether Nigeria can remain one or Nigeria is set on fire. Either way, I'm ready for it. Now, I am not asking for violence, but the people who want Nigeria to remain destroyed must be made to realize that there are consequences for their action. We are in this perpetual state because people who are putting us in this state do not realize that there are consequences for their action. Until you let them know that there are consequences, we will keep gnashing our teeth and complaining.
Now, I've seen lots of comments like this under my last video. Some people are even accusing me of bias. Some are saying Obi or nothing, others are shouting Atiku is our only hope. But let me repeat what I said once again. If Peter Obi truly wants to smell Aso Rock in 2027, he needs Atiku. And if Atiku wants a shot, he needs Obi. If they both allow pride and you guys, their supporters, to lead them, then Tinubu is already halfway into his second term. No question. Now, this is not about who I support. Like I always say, I support no one. Because in Nigeria, the names in Aso Rock may change, but the pain remains. No matter who becomes president, fuel will still slap you. That's the truth. The Naira will still be grasping for air. And after all the hype, all the celebration, even if the person you like win, will still come back here and insult them online. But from a strictly political lens, not emotional, not tribal, not wishful thinking, just the hard facts, they actually need each other. Now, let's break it down. If Obi wants to lead the coalition and be the flag bearer, he has two paths to sail through. One, win the tickets through primaries. But be real to yourself. Do you see Obi defeating Atiku in the delegate-based primary elections? Atiku that has built deep roots within PDP and across the nation. He's been feeding that structure for decades. In my opinion, Obi will just be walking into the lion's den with breadcrumbs. Now, 2, get the ticket by consensus. Even that seems highly unlikely because the numbers aren't really in Obi's favor when you talk about strategy. Now, when you check the registered voters and voter turnouts in the last election, you are going to get some few points. Now, in the southeast, Obi's base had just, about 10 million registered voters in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. Now, in the northeast, which is Atiku's base had nearly 13 million. Now, voter turnout in southeast was about 27%, but in the northeast, the turnout was somewhere around 40%. So the region with fewer voters also had lower turnouts. And in political calculations, these are the things they put on table, not the other things you think, not your emotions. Now, that's double disadvantage. And politics, unfortunately, is a game of numbers, not sentiments. So ask yourself, why would a hungry political coalition hand over their own steering to someone bringing the fewest passengers? Now, some of you are yelling, but the obedient movement is powerful. Listen, I admire your passion, but passion doesn't win elections. Structures, alliance do. You think Tinubu won because people loved him? No. That man spent decades building bridges, forming alliance, and buying loyalty. When his moment came, the path was already cleared. Meanwhile, Obi and Atiku are doing exactly the opposite. 2 men so desperate for power, they rather destroy each other than build, something for themselves together. But it gets worse because their supporters even more divided, even more emotional, even more self-sabotaging. Each side would rather see Nigeria burn than let the other side win. And that's how deep the ego runs. And that's why neither of them might ever touch that seat. Because as greedy as both of them are, their supporters may even be worse. And while they argue, Tinubu is sitting somewhere drinking tea, watching as the drama unfolds. Now, let me be clear. This isn't about who deserves it. Politics is not about that at all. It's about strategy, numbers, and power. And power doesn't go to the loudest voice. It goes to the smartest player. As for me, I've already made my peace. I've already made my peace with the game because deep down, I know whoever wins, it may not change the price of bread where I live. But I'll keep talking, I'll keep analyzing, and I'll keep calling it how I see it. But right now, Tinubu is coasting. And unless a miracle happens, which I don't see happening, 2027 will be a replay of 2023. Don't hate me. Hate the rules. I didn't make the rules. The game is the game. Peace out.
Can't you see the suffering that Nigerians are going through just 2 years into Tinubu's presidency? So, Atiku, this is my final advice to you. Many Nigerians have been calling upon you to step aside and allow Peter Obi. You have tried to be president more than 6 times. This is going to be the 7th time. The God that you trust in, the Allah you call upon and pray to. Can't you see the handwriting on the wall that you have tried and tried? You've done your part. You were vice president. What else are you looking for? You want to divide the vote so that Tinubu will continue as president for Nigerians to continue to suffer? I am calling upon you to do the needful now. If Nigerians wanted you, by now you should have been president. Why don't you step aside? Forget your personal agenda. Forget your personal ambition. Atiku, don't be selfish. Think of Nigeria first. Atiku Abubakar, this is a sincere appeal. Don't let personal ambition stand in the way of collective progress. Don't allow your long-standing desire for power to blur your judgment or silence the voice of the people. 2027 is not just another election. It's an opportunity to rescue and rebuild Nigeria. The stakes are too high for ego to lead and for history to refresh energy, broader acceptance, and momentum. Do the honorable thing now. Step aside. Support unity. Let your legacy be one of wisdom, not just ambition. True leadership sometimes means knowing when to lead, and other times knowing when to support. Nigeria needs a win and not a split. Let history remember you for not how long you pursued power, but for the moment you put Nigeria first. Alhaji Atiku, Nigeria is bleeding, people are dying, people are suffering, people are hungry, and we cannot afford another 4 years of a Tinubu regime. We are not saying that you're the only one that will bring about the win, but we are saying don't divide the votes. And I call upon the ADC coalition, unless if the ADC coalition was formed secretly with a plan to bring in Atiku to stand in as their presidential candidate. But if it was not so, if you truly mean well for Nigeria and you want to see a change, don't allow Atiku to stand in. Nigerians don't want him. It's obvious that Nigerians want change. They want Peter Obi. They want somebody from the south. And it is now the turn of the south. Buhari was incompetent. Nigerians suffer under him. Yet they allowed him to rule for 8 years. And now Tinubu is obviously incompetent. He said he came to continue where Buhari stopped. Now he has taken the suffering of Nigerians to the next level. And we want to see change. Give a fresh blood a chance. Give somebody from the southeast a chance. Obasanjo from the southwest had the opportunity to govern Nigeria for 8 years. After Obasanjo, he went to the south, then went to the north, where Buhari took the nation down for 8 years. Tinubu has come now for a 4-year term. 2 years, Nigeria is already gone, and we don't want that to continue. Then some people are advocating that no, power needs to go to the north. Why must it be north-north? Okonko is calling for power to the north. Why? Is it because you are supporting Atiku? What will Atiku do? You were supporting Peter Obi. You said several times that they stole the elections, that you were so sure Peter Obi was the winner. So if you knew he won, why will you now start saying that he doesn't stand a chance? And you're talking about how the politics works and that the northern vote. I am a northerner. The support for Peter Obi has increased. Many people in the north want Peter Obi, not Atiku. If we wanted Atiku, we would have given him a chance. We have not been electing him. Anytime you have seen him get votes from the north, is because there was no other alternative. I am begging you, it's time to give somebody a chance from the southeast. What is our problem with the Igbos? We come and say one Nigeria, one Nigeria. Now they change the national anthem and wrote the old one to talk about we being together. But it's all a lie. It's all lip and mouth service. I don't know what is our problem. Why are we afraid of the people from the southeast? Then we say we are one Nigeria. When they are now saying they want to leave Nigeria so that they can have Biafra, we fight it. If we know they are not important, why are we not letting them go? Now when it comes to power, we don't trust them. All of us northerners must team up behind Obi. We have suffered under our own so-called northerners. Why did Wike destroy PDP? He destroyed it because he said it was the turn of the south and that the ticket should be sold to somebody from the south. That was his fight. That was his grievance. So why should it now be okay to say that it should remain in the north? That time when they were advocating and saying PDP has said it must be north-south, north-south, and that time it was the turn of the south. But even though that was what PDP stood for, what did Atiku do? He stood again from the north. He's trying to do the same thing. Mr. Atiku, you're doing the same thing again. Tinubu is now going for 4 years. Then there's another 4 more years for a southerner. Since Tinubu has destroyed Nigeria, and it's obvious Nigerians don't want him. So that's that people don't want to be. Is it because people are scared? What are they scared for? Because they want to continue corruption? They want to continue to loot the resources of the nation, destroy the nation while people are suffering, they are enjoying. Anybody that's standing to support Atiku now, I think they are supporting a second term of Tinubu. I know I came in peace, but you know, it's getting to me right now. I don't know what else to say. Mr. Atiku, please do the right thing. And I call upon you, David Mark and Ideological, please you people do the right thing. All the people that are under AGC, except if you people have already done a secret deal and it's all window dressing from the outside, making it look as if we are all coming together in a coalition, but already behind closed doors, they've already decided who will be. The only thing you can prove people like myself wrong, that there was no prior arrangement to all this so-called coalition, then do an open primary. In fact, today, do a national poll to ask people, in this ADC coalition, who would you want to be the flag bearer or the presidential candidate under this coalition? Just ask normal Nigerians and hear what they will say. Don't allow a few people to go and say they are doing a primary when we know how corrupt the primaries are. We saw it in the same thing. You try an open primary. Call all the people to come that are in support of this coalition and let them to a primary. I can tell you for sure that there's no way that Atiku will win. I'm telling you, don't hand over 2027 win on a platter of gold. Tinubu by bringing in Atiku. Please, Mr. Atiku, do the right thing. Your close friends have called upon you. Northerners have called upon you. People from the Middle Belt, people from the South. What else do you want? You want God to show to you that it is not His will for you to be president. He gave you a chance to be vice president. Shouldn't you be happy with that? You believe in the will of Allah. Why don't you accept it? We can't afford another 4 years of Tinubu after these 2 years are done. So the time has come. We must all stand together and say, no, not anymore. Atiku, do the needful. This is my last call to you. I'm not going to do another broadcast to call upon you. They say a word is enough for the wise.
Good day to our viewers all over the world and welcome back to Local Journal. We've listened to everything they said in the video, and if we're very honest with ourselves, we know that this attitude of the North is going to be the very essence why Nigeria will be divided, because this their quest to always be in power forever, their quest to always be the one ruling, is not going to work. The South are not fools. The South cannot keep watching as if they are in a Northern Republic or they are in a Fulani Republic, because this country doesn't belong to the North. It belongs to everybody. And it wasn't just the North alone that fought for the independence of this country. This is an amalgamated country, an amalgamated nation for that matter. But anytime it comes to power, you always want to consider yourself as if the other regions they're not supposed to be in power. It's barely how many years after the late President Buhari finished his term as a northerner, and another northerner is trying to overthrow a southerner again. Does it make any sense? It's not making any sense at all.